Look at all this nice thickened up sauce. Ooh, look at that. It's all over the pasta. Oh, that looks delicious. Time to get you a pot. Heat it up. All right, so I'm gonna put this on a low heat here because the first thing I will be dropping into this pot is butter. And if your pot's too hot, you're burning your butter. Over to my left here, I'm heating up a large stock pot with probably about 6 quarts of water. That's what I will be boiling my fettuccine in. And over to my prepping area, we about to knock this out. So before I get dicing on these vegetables, I'm gonna handle up these crawfish. So this is 2 pounds of frozen packs of Louisiana crawfish. And since they are the frozen packs, I will have to season them. So to my left here, I have 1 teaspoon of a liquid seafood boil concentrate, 1 tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, and another teaspoon here of garlic salt. And I'm gonna gradually mix that in with these crawfish. And there you go. Our crawfish are seasoned. Now look, if you have crawfish from a leftover boil, then you won't have to do this part. And I already know some of you are gonna be like, leftover crawfish from a boil? Well, let me tell you something. If you ain't got leftovers, you ain't cooked enough. Go with the program. With that being said, choo! Paya! So don't waste your time with fancy knives, ladies and gentlemen. Now look, cover this up and move it to the fridge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back over to our hot pot. We are melting 2 sticks of butter, or in this case, 4 half sticks. Lovely. I love that sound. So the butter is melting, and I noticed that my water is close to boiling, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of salt here just to season the water. The amount you put, that's up to you. Some people don't even like to put any, but I like to put a little bit so that the pasta has some flavor. So once I see that my butter is almost completely melted, that's when I like to raise my heat to about a medium heat. So that way the vegetables can really get cooking in here. You don't want your pot real hot right off the bat when dropping butter in, because like I said, it'll have a tendency to burn. But this way it works out really good. There we go. Let's drop our vegetables in. You already know. You scoop that in. All right, this is sauteing very nicely over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my fettuccine noodles cooking in this bowl here very carefully. Woo! There we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is 2 16-ounce packages of fettuccine noodles. And I need to get it stirring quickly. Get that blended around in there. You don't want your noodles all stuck together. So in the beginning like this, you want to make sure you get them moving. They'll also have a tendency to stick to the bottom of the pot too. But once they start to soften up, things will come along nicely. So just to let you guys know, I'm actually going a little bit less than the package directions, because I will be finishing off this dish in the oven. So I don't want to cook the noodles all the way. So I'll probably go to about 1.5 minutes less than what it says. And that should work out good. At this time, you can go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. All right, these are sauteing up nicely here. It's been about 8 minutes. At this point, I'll go ahead and add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. There's 1. 2. There we go. And just blend that in. I'll probably saute these down for 20 minutes total, at least 20 minutes, maybe 25. I want these vegetables to be very soft, so we just keep cooking them down. All right, I've removed my fettuccine noodles, so we're just gonna let this sit till we need it. All right, so I've been sauteing this for roughly 25 minutes. These vegetables are very soft now. You can't really tell that much on camera, but trust me, if you would bite into them, they would be soft. So at this point, I will add a mild can of Rotel tomato. And I will cook that for another 5 minutes. Some of you might be wondering, why not a spicy can or just original? Well, I'm going to have a lot of heat up in here already, so I don't want to burn the mouths of my little ones. But look, if you want this to be a little bit spicier, by all means, continue on with the original can, and you'll be just right. All right, this is coming along nice. So look, I will be adding a can of cream of chicken soup, and I poked some holes in the bottom because, trust me, when you open this side, it's going to come out very easily. And look, I already know some of you guys are going, cream of chicken soup? What are you doing? Look, my mama showed me that trick a long time ago with a crawfish fettuccine, and I have done it ever since. It comes out great. Trust me. Okay, so this has been sauteing for 5 minutes here, and we are going to go ahead and add our next few ingredients. Our cream of chicken soup. Boom, just like that. I told you how easy. We have a 14.5-ounce can of chicken broth. Throw that in there. Just go ahead and blend this around. Get it mixed in real good. And in case you guys are wondering, that was a 10.5-ounce can of cream of chicken soup. Okay, next I will be adding 1 pint of half and half. There we go. And I will blend that in. All right, guys, over here I have a 1-pound block of jalapeno Velveeta cheese that I've cut into some cubes here, and I'm just going to add them a few at a time so that we don't splash things all over the place. And we will get this in and melt it. Now, I know some of you guys struggle to find the jalapeno blend, but I've been told that people like the queso blend, or I think maybe there's like a Mexican blend you can try, or even the original, you know? Just grab one of them. I'm sure it all works. But I like this one right here. All right, this is melting pretty good. There's still some clumps up in there from the cheese, but it will melt. So we're going to lower our heat at this time because we don't want this to get all boiled out of control or anything. And we'll just let that slowly melt. Beautiful. All right, so at this point here, I'm going to go ahead and add the crawfish in with all the yummy juices that are in here. Oh, my goodness. Look at that right there. And we'll blend that in. Let me tell you guys, that right there is what's going to give this that great Louisiana flavor right there. All right, so next I will go ahead and add my fettuccine noodles in. And it's going to be all stuck together, but that's okay because it will come apart. And I'm going to just get this one here with one hand. Okay, so I know many of you guys would freak out at this point right here. Oh no, I got a big dome looking thing of pasta. You'll be all right, trust me. Once you get all this sauce on here, it's going to start breaking up. Trust me. Just kind of get it in there. You don't want to go too much because you don't want to cut your pasta all apart. But trust me, it will start to break apart. Look at that. You can kind of see it right there. Look at that. It's already breaking apart right here. See that? That's what it's going to do. I'm just going to continue to gently work it. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. See, the reason why I don't go washing it or anything and I just let it stay all stuck together is because the sauce is really going to adhere to the pasta, especially when we bake this in the oven. It's going to be really good. All right, so we'll get this blended in really well, and then we'll put it in our baking dish. At this point, you want to go ahead and turn your fire off. All right, so what I have here is a 10 by 13 baking dish. It's a fairly large, deep baking dish. You may need 2 dishes for the amount we have here, which is not a bad thing. If you've got a smaller amount you're feeding, you can always take one of those pans and cover it tight with foil and put it in the freezer. And then you can defrost it on another day, just take it out for about an hour, and you can stick it back in the oven at probably like 325 for like 40 minutes. Put a little bit of milk over the top, man, and you got just as good a fettuccine as you had before. Pretty close, pretty close. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and pour what I have in this dish. Look at how good that looks. Whew. Just gonna smooth out the top here, make it look pretty. put some foil over the top, and we will be good to go. We're gonna let that bake for about 25 minutes. We're done. Let's take a look. That is a work of art, ladies and gentlemen. So good. All right, so I'm gonna let this cool off for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna tear into it. Let's go. Oh man, let me tell you guys, this is Louisiana cooking at its finest. Now look, there'll be some debate on whether or not this is Cajun or Creole because I got some Rotel in there, but I tell you what, you can call it whatever you want. Just be sure to call me when you make it so I come get a plate, all right? Oh man, it smells so good. I'm so hungry, my mouth is watering. And look, I know it looked kind of thin earlier when I was putting it together, but look at that. I mean, that sauce is just glued to the noodles. Oh, it smells so good. Here we go. Oh my gosh. That is good stuff right there. And it's got this perfect kick to it. For me, it's not overwhelming. It's kind of just like a peppery bite along my tongue and palate. It's not something that's gonna make me go, you know, hiccup wise or anything like that. When something's real spicy, it gets to me. This is perfect. It's the right amount of spice. It's cheesy, it's creamy, and the noodles have a good tender bite. The crawfish tastes just as good as if I'd boil them. Well, maybe not that good, but they have that good, a good boiled seafood flavor in them. I'm stumbling on my words because it's so good. I'm telling you guys, you gotta eat this. Something I like to do here, I like to put a little bit on my garlic bread. Oh. We notorious for carb overload down here. Probably all over my face. Money. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. We done knocked out crawfish fettuccine. I know you guys have seen shrimp fettuccine before on my, playlist of whatever's on YouTube, but many people still ask for crawfish fettuccine, even though I say it's similar. You could follow the other one and use crawfish, but now I have an actual video of crawfish fettuccine you guys can go and look at. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you soon. Paya! Don't mean that much to me, 'cause I got higher definition in my reality. What's happening?